Today is our last day on board, so we have to get all of our stuff packed up and clean out our room, make sure it's all cleaned up and ready to go for whoever comes in next. And it's pretty much our entire day. We do have one set later on this evening. Luckily, our manager was kind enough to give us most of the day off, but yeah, so we're done.
And welcome back for the last time before their vacation, David and Stephanie. Let's give them a round of applause. Thank you all.
Since we'd already packed up all of our stuff, the set in the observation room was probably the lowest stress set we have ever played. We had to swing by medical earlier to pick up all of our paperwork and sign off on that. And since we're lounge musicians and we bring our own clothes, we don't really have a uniform, so all we had to do was return our crew tablet. After our set was done, we headed down to security with all of our bags to have them all checked and gone through. And that was the last thing that we had to get done, so we went up to Crew Bar and had a few drinks with our friends to say goodbye. Today is the day. We're going home. Now it is time to go to finance and settle up, and then meet at Crew Bar and get off this ship. We left a little note for the next duo, and then we went down to Crew Bar so that we could catch the bus that went to the Barcelona airport. We are walking through the Barcelona airport on our way to our flight home to Chicago. We're really excited to get back home. We're excited to get off the ship. 290 days on a ship is a long time, so we're very happy for a change of pace. We spent 290 days on the Viva over the course of the past year, and we couldn't be more proud of the work that we've done there. In that time, we performed 750 shows, visited 63 port cities in 33 countries, and set foot on 5 different continents. Also in our last month on the Viva, Stephanie and I won top comment card winners, so we have a huge thank you to all of the guests that came on and loved what we did, and the music that we play and how we play it resonated with them. So thank you so much. It's because of you that we love what we do. We're very nervous right now because when we were checking our baggage, we each get 2 check bags, 1 carry-on item, and 1 personal item. My carry-on item is my guitars. I've flown so many times with these guitars, never an issue. Today, the person who was checking our baggage in tried to tell me that I can't fly with my guitars, which is unfortunate that she doesn't know that I can, but it's more frustrating that she tried to exercise some strength with that and attempted to tell me that she has to take them away, which isn't true and isn't going to happen. These guitars are my livelihood, so there's no way I am allowing them to be checked. It's also a TSA recognized carry-on, so there's absolutely no reason for her to have to do that other than to try to exercise a little power. So it's pretty frustrating. But then she saw that I also had a personal item, my pedal board, which fits underneath the seat in front of me. And then she tried to tell me that she cannot allow me to have both. So she forced me to check either my guitars or my pedal board, so I went with the pedal board. And now I'm really nervous because the pedal board is not in a hard shell case. It is not in a travel case. It's in a case that is soft and like a briefcase. And I'm freaking out a little bit about it. I'm really upset. I'm really mad. And if anything happens to my pedal board, I'm going to have to replace it, and I'm going to have to try to find a way to hold United responsible for that. So I don't think I'm going to get anywhere with trying to hold them responsible either. So it's just really frustrating and upsetting, and for the next 12 hours or so, we're gonna have to pretend that nothing happened so that we can just enjoy the flight and try to get home safely. Hope that all our gear is safe, at least the guitars will be. Luckily we have air tags in most of our bags. However, there wasn't really time to shift things around to put an air tag in my pedal board case. All of that is adding to my nerves about this as well. Unsurprisingly, after my argument with the check-in lady, I was randomly selected for additional screening and had to go through that. After one final confrontation at the gate about my guitars and being able to bring them on board, they told me that it was ultimately up to the flight crew, and I went on and had absolutely no issues with the flight crew. They couldn't have been more friendly or more helpful. And now that we are safely on board the plane, it is time to sit back and relax and wait to arrive in Chicago. We're skipping into the future here. It's 2 days later. After such a long flight from Barcelona to Chicago and then dealing with everything that we had going on, I really didn't feel like vlogging what happened that night. And yesterday we just spent all day pretty much just getting situated. We picked up Ben, we went grocery shopping, we stopped at Wicker Park Fest for a little bit, got dinner with my mom. So now that I'm a little bit more settled, a little bit more situated, let's talk about what happened. First off, to the gate agent who told me that my guitars are not going to fit in the overhead compartment. My guitar case is specifically outfitted to be able to fly in an overhead compartment. TSA laws allow you to fly with guitars, and the main reason that I won't let them ever take my guitars at baggage claim is because many different airlines, United in particular, are notorious for completely mishandling luggage, especially really expensive and fragile musical equipment. As you can see in this picture, my guitars fit perfectly in there. In fact, there was so much room up there that 2 other passengers put their carry-on items in the same overhead compartment as my guitars. Now luckily when we got to baggage claim, my Kemper case came through and there doesn't seem to be any damage to my Kemper. Kemper made it. I can't tell you how excited I am, but also both of our hearts are still pumping like crazy, and we're also still waiting on the mixer and one other suitcase. So I think once we have everything, we'll probably feel a little bit better. We waited until all of the bags had been retrieved and there were no bags coming, and the airport shut down the carousel. So we asked for help to try to find where our last bag was, and they pointed us to a direction where all of the special baggage came in, which we didn't know about. We were never notified that that's where it would be. When I got over there, I saw the mixer case in complete disarray. The top wasn't even attached anymore. The sides were completely open. There were cables spilling out onto the floor. You can see in this photo where the hinges are supposed to still be connected. We were a little bit concerned when we were on the airplane and we could see them loading the luggage onto the plane, and we noticed that they were handling the mixer case. As you can see in this video, there's some sort of note that is attached to the top, and the man who moves my case notices that the top isn't attached anymore. He does try to notify the person at the end of the conveyor belt that something's wrong with it, but by this point, I can already tell that this is not going to go well. Once we finally had all our bags, we went over to make a claim for the damage done to the case. And luckily, this part has been fairly easy. I put in a claim, I sent photos and told them everything that had happened, and I was sent a shipping label to bring to FedEx so that we could print it. Unfortunately, they're not providing a box for me, so I had to go buy that myself. And now that I'm here, I have to box up my broken gear and send it in. sir. Luckily, the rest of the night went incredibly smoothly. My mom was nice enough to let us borrow her car, and during that time, we went over to make some very crucial pit stops. First stop was to swing by Binny's and pick up a little something to drink. And the second stop was to continue our tradition of getting American Chinese food, and so we went to Yan Yan. And thus began our vacation, and so now we are on a 2-month vacation between contracts. We are going to be announcing our next contract very soon, so make sure you hit subscribe if you want to see what's going on there. And if you want to follow along with what we are doing next, a little sneak peek, we are here on vacation in Guatemala.